Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com. In this video, we're looking at one of my favorite watches from one of my favorite brands that were released this year with the Hamilton Khaki Field Titanium. This one coming with this green dial. So in this video and on this channel, we cover watches available for purchase on our website, TeddyBaldassarre.com, as an authorized dealer. So in this video, deep dive on this timepiece, final points of consideration at the end, but also throughout the video, if you have any questions, you want to purchase the watch as well, check out the link in the description down below. But guys, let's jump into the video and take a closer look at this watch. Hamilton's incredibly popular Khaki Field collection is, to put it lightly, broad, encompassing dozens of variations in size, dial color, complication, and even case materials. Even set among that crowded offering, one of Hamilton's recent 2022 releases, the new 38mm Khaki Field Auto in titanium, immediately jumped out to me upon its release earlier this year. In this video, we'll take a closer look at the green dial variant, probably my favorite from the collection, and a model that pairs the influence of Hamilton's field watch history with modern specifications, materials, and a comfortable 38mm diameter. Starting with a conversation on the case and wearing experience presented by this new titanium Khaki Field, we have a 38mm diameter, 46mm lug to lug, and a relatively slender 11.8mm thickness. These case dimensions don't stray far away from the beloved hand-winding Khaki Field mechanical collection, though this case is ever so slightly thicker given the automatic caliber utilized in this piece. With those metrics in mind, the size and feel are both solid with this one, but the use of titanium on the case material also means this is an impressively light watch on the wrist, feeling noticeably different compared to a similarly sized Khaki Field Auto, a watch that is not known for its presence to begin with. Some people associate weight with the quality of a watch, but I think there's also a lot to be said for the lighter and very comfortable wearing experience presented by a well-done titanium case. As is the case with much of the Khaki Field collection, the lugs account for a good portion of the case length, although the totality of the wear on the wrist is only slightly larger than the proposed dimensions of 38mm, at most presenting like a 39mm on the wrist. Set between 20mm lugs, a rugged leather strap with a suede or nubuck style outer surface is well executed, but will require some break-in and is very stiff out of the box. The strap does not taper, terminating with a signed dual pin buckle executed in titanium to match the case. The case finishing is in keeping with the rest of the Khaki Field collection, well executed but utilitarian and straightforward, with linear brushing utilized across the vertical case flanks, sloping bezel, and gently curved lugs. At 3, a signed push-pull crown pairs with the screw-down exhibition case back and securing this model's impressive 100 meters of water resistance, a nice choice for those that want to expand out from the traditional mechanical options that are only going to have 50 meters of water resistance, so nice perk here. Now moving back over to the front-facing surface, we have a sapphire crystal presenting a very slightly domed profile and some anti-reflective coating, but not going to be the best in fighting those reflections compared to some other watches out there. But while there are 2 dial variants in this family, the striking green color really is a just change of pace compared to the conventional khaki that we're familiar with. Starting at the dial's periphery, we have a printed minute track with finer graduations between the linear and Arabic minute markings, with tiny circular indices at the 5-minute positions. Just within, we have the all but required pairing of 12 and 24-hour markings required by any field watch, with the 12-hour scale thickly printed with the color coordination luminescent material, and the lume, quite frankly, isn't going to be great on this watch, but it is effective enough in keeping with the other watches of this style at this price range. Just don't have the highest of expectations here when looking in the direction of lume. Adding a bit of three-dimensionality, the central surface is separated with the hour markings lying on the ring that is ever so slightly recessed from the primary surface. Stylized syringe-style hands manage time telling, with only the brand wordmark Khaki and automatic to break up the dial. There's no date to speak of, a feature or lack thereof I appreciate on a field watch, and overall it is a highly legible and attractive package that still feels very much of the Hamilton Field DNA while making some room for a more intriguing and different execution. Now beneath a secondary sapphire glass on the screw-down case back, we have Hamilton's H10 caliber supplied by another Swatch Group brand in ETA. Often called the Powermatic by other brands such as Tissot, the ETA C07.611 utilized within this Khaki Field utilizes base architecture from the ETA 2824 with frequency that has been slowed from the traditional 28,800 vibrations per hour or 4 Hz to a slower 21,600 vibrations per hour or 3 Hz, allowing for a longer reserve of the mainspring. While it is in view, a nice feature for some, the H10 doesn't offer much in the way of finishing, with some simple matte finishes and some beveling on the select bridges to offset the signed Hamilton rotor. Despite not being being much to look at, this is an excellent caliber that has already been proven in hundreds of thousands of Swatch Group watches, and in this case also includes a Nivacron hairspring that should help in alleviating the influence of magnetic fields on timekeeping. Speaking anecdotally to timekeeping presented by this particular example, we tested it across 5 different positions, and it achieved accuracy between +3 to +7 seconds a day, so pretty solid numbers for a watch that makes no specific accuracy claims. And for what it's worth, this is a non-date model. There is no ghost date position to speak of when setting the watch up with the crown. So just to unpack, 21,600 vibrations per hour, 3 Hertz. It does feature hacking and hand winding, hacking stop in the second hand when you pull the crown to the farthest position, and a power reserve of 80 hours. All right, so now to unpack looking at this Hamilton Khaki Field Titanium, looking at some of the cons, pros, final considerations before looking to buy. Let's start with some of the cons on this watch. I think the lume is not going to be that great, so don't have the highest of expectations here. It is absolutely on par with some of the other field watches in this category. Hamilton, some of the other brands affiliated with field watches, for some reason, the lume is usually always lacking. This isn't the worst I've ever seen, but not going to necessarily be the best either. Also, the strap pairing on this one is going to be, it's okay. It is stiff and it takes a while to break in, and I would certainly recommend maybe going for a third-party option if you are trying to get the most out of the watch. But now shifting over to the pros for this watch, I think the first thing you have to mention is sizing and just wearability on the wrist. Sure, the extended lug-to-lug is going to make this watch wear probably closer to a 39mm, but when factoring in titanium, that is the kind of hidden part of the equation here that will make this one wear even more compact, just because I sometimes will even forget you have this one on wrist. And this is coming with an automatic watch, oscillating weight. You're still not feeling much of its presence here, and that is a great thing to have when you're dealing with a watch of this nature. The dial color in this instance is a lot of fun. I like the pop of green and the pop of color that's being delivered in this instance. And then in terms of the accuracy with the ETA caliber, 80-hour power reserve, it's all there, no nonsense. This is a little bit of a higher grade as well with that C07 movement. You have this .611 here. And the other thing to mention here is 100 meters of water resistance. This is not a base idea for all of the Hamilton Khaki Field models out there. So nice to see that's also going to be included within this watch. When you look at the wide range of field watches out there, many of them utilizing stainless steel, if you're trying to get into more of these daring materials, something like bronze or titanium, I think Hamilton represents the perfect entry door to do it. So if you want all of the conventional DNA that comes with the Hamilton Khaki Field family, and there's a lot of reasons to do so, but you also want something that's a bit more daring out there and a material that you typically don't see associated with watches of the type under $1,000, that's why I think this watch is so compelling and a great one to consider for a do-it-all piece under $1,000. All right, guys, well, thank you again so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. It's a great way to help out the channel. But also, definitely check out Baldassarre.com. We're an authorized dealer of over 30 brands, including the watches covered in this video. It's a great way to get a watch. You have a full factory warranty for all the products that we offer, dedicated customer service team based here in the United States, and we don't take any money from the brands to produce the videos that we're creating. How we're able to support myself, the entire team here, and all the content that we produce is through selling watches on Baldassarre.com. So if you like this content, also the content we do on the main channel, it's the best way to support the content to allow us to continue to foster a new generation of watch enthusiasts in the process. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.